This is the best $10 blaster you never knew existed. It's so criminally underrated that right now you're watching one of the only reviews of it on the internet. I'll count down 7 reasons why it's one of the best pistol blasters ever made, with number 1 being my favorite, but also 3 flaws that prevent it from being perfect. Number 7. Fresh form factor. The Adventure Force Dinoblitz is a compact sidearm. The blaster itself is extremely lightweight without the burden of unnecessary plastic weighing it down. We'll talk about this later. The thin bottom part can be used to grip and steady your shot. If I'm correct, the Dinoblitz is a repaint of the Dart Zone Blitzfire X2. It's not wildly flashy, so stick around to the end to understand why it's one of my favorite compact blasters in like 12 years. Number 6. Dino Scope. What would the Dinoblitz be without a dino-themed scope? This chunky T-Rex optic will be popular among young dinosaur lovers. It's chiseled with a copious amount of detail, which could be accentuated with your own paint detailing if you have a free afternoon. With its embedded crosshairs, it can give kids a fun pseudo-sniper feel to the Dinoblitz. The blaster is still fairly easy to prime with a scope on, but for most people like me, you can relieve yourself of the extra plastic by sliding the scope off the tactical rail. Number 5. Blaster Battle Ready. When Dart Zone sent me the Dinoblitz, I knew I had to test it in real-world conditions. So I packed the blaster and flew 1,800 miles to the Guinness World Record's largest Nerf blaster battle in Dallas. On the morning of the event, Carl, my good friend, and I were feeling really low energy, and we had to be on top of our game to film like 4 different videos in a few hours. So I made myself a bottle of G Fuel.
Oh shit, that's good.
Carl tried G Fuel for the first time and liked it so much that I went to get water for him. Then I made him some G Fuel so we both could get the energy we needed to shoot some epic Dinoblitz footage. For the longest time I thought G Fuel was just a gimmick until I tried it many times. Then I realized, holy crap, it's better than energy drinks because all the flavors I tried so far taste pretty good, I've experienced no caffeine crashes, and it actually works. G Fuel is one of my favorite sponsors so far, so please check out the link down below, and that directly helps out the channel so I can make more blaster content. After the blaster battle, I can confirm that the Dinoblitz is battle ready. It's so simple to operate that even Carl was able to use it for the first time while simultaneously filming the footage you're seeing. There's no learning curve, and that's what makes this blaster such a low barrier to entry for newcomers to the hobby. Another thing that makes the Dinoblitz easy to use is number 4, nice design and ergonomics. For my hand size, I think the design of the handle is perfect. It's always comfortable to hold. When you prime the top handle, a priming bar sticks out from the back until you pull the trigger. Fortunately, it doesn't really get in the way, and it also acts as a good visual indicator of when your blaster is primed. The top priming handle design is good, not excellent. For some reason, occasionally it requires more strength than usual to prime the first shot after filling up the barrel with all 6 darts. Other than that, overall it doesn't require a lot of strength to prime relative to the power it outputs. That leads into number 3, accuracy and performance. When I used any dart that wasn't a Nerf Elite dart, it was really easy to hit unsuspecting opponents at close range during the blaster battle. Subscribe for more epic gamer moments. I've used so many inaccurate blasters and darts over the years that it's just nice that the Dinoblitz with Adventure Force darts are guaranteed to hit the general area you're aiming for. I was startled to see how powerful the Dinoblitz was when I first tried it out. Whoa! My god, this is like a sleeper. You can't even tell that it's good until you try it out. I ran the blaster through a chronograph and recorded average velocities of 86 feet per second with brand new darts and around 78 FPS with used darts. That outperforms a majority of Nerf branded dart blasters out there, but these days that's no longer a high bar to exceed. But still, I was blown away that this tiny blaster was getting such stellar performance considering, number 2, the Dinoblitz cost $10. In USD, that's just under $8. Inflation is raising the price of most Nerf blasters by 10 to 20% more than they should cost, and here the Dinoblitz seems underpriced. It's a 6-shot rotating cylinder blaster, like the Nerf Raptor Slash, but in my books the Dinoblitz wins the battle. Where I live, it's 2.5 times cheaper than the Raptor Slash. Another example, I recently bought the Nerf Prospect, a much worse blaster, and that cost $6 more than the Dinoblitz. There's a lot of other great rotating cylinder blasters out there, but my number 1 favorite feature of the Dinoblitz is, in my opinion, what makes it superior to the others. Number 1, run and gun reload. So the 2005 Nerf Maverick is one of the most iconic blasters in history, but it had a lot of issues. Over 16 years later, it feels like Dart Zone took all of those issues, crushed them, and made the closest thing to a god tier Maverick, especially when it comes to reloading. Reloading this blaster is as streamlined as could be. Just to show how easy it is to reload, like that, Put a dart in, pull the trigger, use the grooves on either side of the blaster to guide your dart into the barrel, pull the trigger to rotate the barrel, and repeat. These seemingly tiny design decisions, normally not seen in other revolver blasters, monumentally cut down the difficulty of reloading the Dinoblitz, giving you more time to focus on blasting and having fun. It's almost identical to the reloading system of the Dart Zone Storm Squad, but this time the grooves are on both sides of the blaster, which helps me out as a left-handed person. Reloading can get clumsy with darts or barrels not lining up properly. That's just eliminated here. It's easy to see how much ammo you have left, and if needed, you can still manually rotate the barrel into place. Unfortunately, the Dinoblitz has 3 flaws that prevent me from saying that this is the most perfect and bestest pistol blaster ever made. Flaw number 1. The Dinoblitz doesn't have slam fire, meaning you can't amp up your firing speed. This one isn't really a flaw, but I wanted to mention it here. This blaster is a Canadian exclusive. Bad news for anyone else not living in an igloo. Unless you have Blitzfire X2s on your store shelves, the opportunity to enjoy this blaster is limited. But to be honest, it feels kinda special that Canada has a unique blaster product that other regions don't. Flaw number 2. Sticky trigger. The trigger pull is heavier than other blasters because the trigger is also mechanically responsible for rotating the entire barrel. I'm not sure if it's just my model or a design flaw in general, but pulling the trigger feels stiff and occasionally it'll get stuck. Luckily, it's more of a nuisance than a crippling defect. Flaw number 3. Dart disruptions. This is my biggest complaint about the Dinoblitz. Darts will sometimes fall out of the barrel if enough movement shakes them out. This only occurs with used darts since the foam is less firm. It sucks because in most situations you'd probably be using used darts anyways rather than brand spanking new ones every time. At the blaster battle, I had a few darts fall out of the barrel, with one of those times actually jamming my blaster. How often this happens really depends on how crappy your darts are, but I wish the barrel was designed to hold darts more snugly so this stupid thing wouldn't happen at all. Despite the flaws, I'm still a firm believer that at a $10 price point, you can't lose with the Dinoblitz. Buy it for yourself, your mom, your wife's boyfriend, and check out some crazy 3D printed Nerf blasters on the screen. Again, show some love to G Fuel for helping out the channel. Thanks for watching, hope you do something great today, and get that bread.